welcome to this week's episode of Cooking with Connie. We're going to get really healthy this week with this vegetable recipe. So it's going to be a garlic chicken stir fry. And for all my Shape Reclaim friends out there, this one has been modified to be approved for you guys. And I'll teach you a little bit about how I did the modifications. So the first thing I did was call for a little bit of oil in the skillet. So instead of oil, I'm going to use a little bit of chicken broth in there. So I've got chicken broth and I've got about 4 cloves of garlic in it. We're going to start heating that up, and then we'll start adding in the vegetables and sauteing those. So for my veggies, I did peppers, onions, mushrooms, and broccoli, but feel free to add or delete whatever veggies you want for this, because that doesn't really matter which vegetables you use. Just get lots of veggies in there. And I don't think on the recipe I even mentioned the onions, but I thought as an afterthought that that would be a good option to add to this recipe. So, one of these days I will figure out this stove. All right, we're going to go ahead and dump. So see these lovely vegetables, I already got those all chopped up, they're ready to go. So we're going to put those in there. And over medium heat, saute them. It says 5 or 6 minutes. They're jumping out of the pan already. So we'll kind of get them stirred up a little bit here, and then we'll, once it gets heated up, put the lid on it to kind of let them steam a little bit to soften up. You smell the onion and the garlic here. All right, we're going to go ahead and let these cook for just a little bit, and then we'll come back with the next step on this preparation, okay? All right, guys, so what I've done is I sauteed those for about 6 minutes or so till they were starting to get soft. I've removed them back to the bowl, and now we've put about 2 pounds of sliced chicken breast in here. And what I did was I just kind of sliced them thin. And I put just a little bit of the chicken broth in there to saute them. Because again, I'm using that instead of oil. And so we'll cook these until there's no more pink in them. And then we're going to start throwing things back together again. So we'll take a little bit of a break while we go ahead and get the chicken cooked down. And then we'll show you the next steps. All right, guys, so we've got the chicken cooked until there's no pink left. I've just added the vegetables back in, kind of stirring those around. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add just a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. And I always tell people, just kind of go easy on that. People can always add that stuff after the fact. And then I'm going to add one of my favorites, the Garlic Lovers seasoning for Flavor God. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. And then since this is kind of our Chinese thing, I love the Chinese Five Spice from McCormick's. So to kind of give it a little bit more Chinese-y flavor, I'm going to put a little bit of that in this mix too. And then what we've done is we have mixed up a sauce that's going to go over this. And so what the sauce has in it is I put 1 tablespoon of the coconut aminos. And I've got 3/4 cup of our chicken broth in there. I put just a little bit, a teaspoon and a half of the monk fruit sweetener and 2 tablespoons of arrowroot. Now, just to kind of let you know, arrowroot is a good thickening agent that you can use with your Shape Reclaimed. So if something needs to be thickened, arrowroot is a really good way to do that. So I've got that mixed up in this bowl here. I'm going to stir it real good, make sure we don't have any clumps with the arrowroot. And then we're going to pour that over all of the veggies and stuff. And then we're going to cook it to let it all thicken up. And then once this gets thickened up, then what we're going to do is we're going to do a fried rice that we're going to serve with this. So we'll let this cook a little bit, kind of get it to where it's thick and has that nice sauce on there. And we'll come back and show you that, and then we'll get started on the fried rice that's going to go with this dish today. All right, guys, so we've got that, the chicken recipe over here, and what I'm doing right now is I put 2 bags of frozen rice cauliflower in my container, and I chopped up some green onions, and I'm just kind of stirring those around to heat them. And once they get nice and warm, I've whipped up about 3 eggs here that we'll put in there for our chicken, or for our fried rice. And then we're going to be seasoning with a little coconut aminos and probably a little Chinese 5 spice. And then once we get all that nice and warm and hot, we will serve the 2 together for our nice little Chinese dinner. So we'll be back and show you the finished product in just a few minutes. All right, guys, welcome back. Here's our finished product, this beautiful plate of veggies with the cauliflower rice. So lots of veggies, nice lean protein with the chicken breast there, and lots of flavor. Barbara and I are actually having this for lunch, so we are starving and we've been smelling this cooking. So remember that this is, oh, she wanted to see the whole pan. So there's that, how much that made with what I did here. And I did use 2 pounds of chicken breast. The recipe says 1. So just know you can double that, do whatever with it. Remember, we are doing a giveaway right now. We're at about 168 subscribers, and we really thank all you guys for joining our group. But we want to get up to 200, and when we get to 200, we're going to give away that 6 sessions of red light therapy and a body composition. That'll be great if we could do that in January to get somebody started off with some new goals of health and wellness for the 2024 year. So remember, like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends about us, and make sure that you make good choices.